Where Colin was right.
Sean Payton ranked number 2 coaching in the NFL by PFF. Andy Reid number 1. I just saw this weekend, he took a bad offensive line. The O-line is now ranked number 2. He took over a shaky defense. They led the NFL in sacks. They upgraded at safety and linebacker on players that were just Niners a year ago. He inherited a horrible culture, a mess at quarterback, moved off Russell Wilson dead cap money, and in a division with Andy Reid and Jim Harbaugh, took a rookie quarterback to the playoffs. This is what I've been saying about Sean Payton. He is direct. He is curt. He can turn people off. He is brilliant.
Yeah, it's funny. When I was trying to find clips to do, I'll get a little bit more flattering of a screen. There we go. When I was looking for clips for this, and I see, okay, great, Denver Broncos, let's go, let's get at it. And I see Sean Payton, second best head coach. I'm like, oh, well, I pretty much did that already because Colin discussed that when the list went down. But I'm happy now because when Colin says what he says, in just one after the other, just being like, this was a disaster of a franchise that were going nowhere, mess of an O-line, mess of a quarterback, mess. And now it's not. Just like that. And that is the power of a great coach. And a great coach with power, it's the power of a great coach with power. And someone who's obviously also experienced. Because they know how to pull the strings. They know how to... Usually when I talk about execution, I talk about like on the field, but they know how to execute what needs to happen within the team, whether that means running the meetings, the practices, the conversations, the actual just real conversations that you're having with any player in any given moment, no matter what it may be, whether it's really about football, whether it's not about football, the conversations that you're having with ownership, the conversations that you're having with the GM, how you're navigating free agency, the draft, some of it, it's just like, Sean, what do you want? Whoever you want, we're going to defer to you. And other times it's like, hey, this is the guy we want. What are your thoughts on this? Or listen, what position do you think we need most right now? Or, hey, we really want to get you a guy on offense. And he's like, no, that's great. I'm happy with what we have. Please go out and get me defense right now. Like it's all these multi-layered conversations that take place. And Sean Payton obviously knows how to run and do them all. And that's how you can flip this over in seemingly a blink of the eye. Because when you know how to do everything, you can do everything. And that's the power of a Sean McVay, of an Andy Reid, of a Sean Payton. That is the power. And it's not to say that these guys are flawless. It's not to say that these guys never make a mistake. They never draft a guy that was the wrong move, or they, pick up someone in free agency that they shouldn't have done or traded or this, that. Like, no one's 100% perfect. But to think that they were able to flip this all around in Denver and that it was just kind of like just because. Sometimes we look at sports and we look at players and do this. I talked about this recently. There's this idea that it's just a matter of time. That it's almost like growing up, right? Whether you like it or not, as long as you're, still on this earth, like when you're 5, you're going to become 6, and then 7, and then 8, and then 9, right? Like no matter how much, you don't have to do anything, okay? It's just going to happen. And a lot of people think that that's the way it is with these athletes. That someone like a Mahomes, a Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, whoever, that they're just guaranteed that it's just like, okay, they're a rookie. So it's like, oh, they're just like a little kid. They just got to learn how to like crawl, and then they're going to walk, and then they're going to run. It's like, no, someone has to teach you. Someone has to teach you. It doesn't just happen. When you're a baby, right, you start to just randomly learn how to talk your native language by the people around you. You don't have to remember. You don't really remember how you learned the word the. It just happened. And that's not how sports are. Everything is intentional, not accidental, and not inevitable. Just even from a player development standpoint, let alone building a roster, building a team, running a team. It's not just like, oh yeah, we can bring anyone in here. It's not the way it works. It's why someone like Nat Hackett failed spectacularly, because the Denver Broncos needed someone who could do everything. Who could do everything. From something as simple as, you got to call a timeout here, as also as, hey, the GM is saying, I want to get someone on offense, but you need to have the ability to say, no, that's not actually what we need right now. we actually really need, X, Y, and Z. Or, hey, I want that guy. Get me that guy. Hey, we got to move on from this guy. Get me someone else. Or not only do I want to move on from this guy, but I specifically want that guy. Like it's always juggling 100 different things at once. And it is interesting because when you actually really think about it, we see coaches pretty spectacularly fail. Like you see coaches where it's just obvious, like, oh man, and you almost like feel bad. And sometimes it's about the execution, sometimes it's about the X's and O's, sometimes it's the play calling, sometimes it's everything else. And that's why it's like even someone like a Mike McCarthy, who I actually kind of defend, not because I think he's this brilliant, great coach and can do everything, but it's just like, I know that guy knows how to run a team. I know he can stabilize any franchise. He knows how to run the meetings. He knows how to talk to the players. He knows how to run the practices. He knows how to divvy, to delegate responsibilities to the other coaches and whatnot, right? He knows how to talk to Jerry Jones to the best of his abilities, right? Like he can do that. He might not, blow you away with amazing game plans and play calling like Andy Reid does and whatnot, but like he can run a team. And there's plenty of coaches who can't, and you see it. They're the teams that end up just being absolute disasters. And Sean Payton obviously is on the other end of that spectrum where it's just like he can do it all. And we take that for granted. We just automatically assume, unless you have like 15 Super Bowls, because apparently that's how much you need to be considered great, and it has to just be ring after ring after ring after ring, then it's just like, yeah, you're not that good. Right, so what? You made the playoffs. And it's just like, you have to put it all in context. You have to understand. I mean, like, it is pretty remarkable to get a rookie quarterback who needed to be developed, clearly. Yeah, he had a lot of experience and a lot of snaps, but clearly needed to be worked with. Clearly. And a mess of a team. And was able to turn this around. And it's funny because other people were like, no, it was his ego why they got rid of Russ and he was refusing this and that. And it's just like, what he did ultimately worked. And not only now stabilized the franchise, got them back to being successful, but then also now sets you up for, let's just be, very grounded in this, 5 years. We could say 10, 15, but at least 5 years you have like real stability. A team that can legitimately make moves. And it's funny because they're even backed in a corner with a dead cap where they can't even really truly make the moves that they would maybe want to. So even the fact that they're even having success under these circumstances just goes to show you how run. It's more about how well run the Broncos are right now rather than the roster, the quarterback, like the X's and O's, like more of like the on-field stuff. It's the off-field stuff is what leads to sustainability. Now, of course, it's a dance with it, right? You need the players on the field to make the long-term matter, but I will take any day of the week. I feel way more comfortable knowing that if this is my team, that I have the confidence in the owner, the GM, and the coach more than just a specific group of players. Because once those players are gone, even the best quarterback, I'm just kind of like, where are we here now? It's why a team like the Philadelphia Eagles can win 2 Super Bowls in the last 8 years with a completely different roster, a completely different coaching staff, a completely different quarterback. That's sustainability. And then it's why on the opposite end of the spectrum, we see other teams that have a great coach or a great quarterback or whatever, but they're so poorly run that they can't just put a team together. And it's like, oh, the offense is great, but we forgot about the defense. Or it's like, oh, the offense is pretty good and the defense is pretty good. Oh, but we got the most bootleg kicker in the world and we can't trust him to make a 35-yard field goal. Oh. I mean, like, and for those teams, like, it's always something. It's always something, always something, always something. And for a while with the Broncos, it was always something. It's like, it's not the defense if it's the offense. If it's not the offense, it's the defense. Oh, we have a pretty good team, but our, quarterback is maybe the biggest disaster we've ever seen. And we'll probably never, we're starting a quarterback that will probably never start for another team ever again, And it's just, they've survived that. They've survived that, and they were able to overcome it. And a huge, huge, huge reason why this team has a bright future. It's less than just a Bo Nix or because you got this piece and that piece. It really is because of that guy. He is the guy that if you're going to win, it's going to be because of him. If you create a team for the next 10 years that has becomes now like the Ravens, the Bills, the Chiefs, the teams that we are constantly saying, oh, they're a great team, they're a great team, they're a great team. It's going to be massively because of Sean Payton. Massively. So, yeah, he deserves the praise. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos and what he's been able to do with this franchise, and do so pretty quickly, especially with a young, up-and-coming quarterback? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.